We know that Endrick has talent. The kid has always scored decisive goals, and in many plays, his powerful shots surprise opposing goalkeepers. Since his first matches, he has shown a unique ability to find the net, even in complicated situations. However, in the recent match against Atletico de Madrid, things did not go as he expected. But before we continue, please leave your like and subscribe to the channel to help us reach 1,000 subscribers. Don't forget to activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. First, let's aim for the goal of 500 likes for this video. Now that you've subscribed, let's get to the news. Endrick tried once more to take a long shot, trusting in his strength and precision, but this time, the ball did not find the net. This particular play created some tension among some of the Real Madrid players, who expected a different decision from the Brazilian. Despite this, Endrick showed maturity at the end of the game, with an attitude that surprised many, especially his teammates. The match between Real Madrid and Atletico de Madrid ended in a 1-1 draw. The encounter was marked by several interruptions and discussions among the players, which further intensified the tension of the classic. In the midst of this scenario, Endrick was involved in a play that could have changed the outcome of the match. In the final minutes of the game, the young player wearing jersey number 16 initiated a high-speed counterattack. He quickly advanced with the ball, dribbling past two Atletico defenders, and found himself one-on-one with goalkeeper Jan Oblak. Instead of passing the ball, as some expected, Endrick opted to take the risk and shoot. He sent the ball to the right of the goal, close to the post, but without success. This play generated many reactions both on and off the field, with some criticizing his decision to finish, while others defended his attempt. During the narration of the match, the moment was described with great emotion. "They're going to give it to Coke, a gift for Carvajal. Look at the counterattack, Endrick at full speed, one-on-one. Endrick goes against Lenormand. Endrick, to the hand, the ball goes to the right of Oblak's goal." The play was tense and left both fans and teammates with a mix of anticipation and frustration. One of the most experienced players on the Real Madrid team, Valverde, did not hide his dissatisfaction with Endrick's choice. He believed the young player should have passed the ball to Bellingham, who was in a better position to finish the play and secure the victory. It is said that Valverde confronted Endrick in the tunnel of the dressing rooms, criticizing the young player's lack of game vision. On social media, fans did not spare Endrick's decision either. Many agreed that the number 16 should have passed the ball to Bellingham. The main criticism was the distance from which Endrick shot at the moment, making the finish more risky and less likely to result in a goal. Comparisons were made with the goal he scored against Stuttgart in the Champions League, when he also took a long shot but was successful on that occasion. "It's fair to criticize, he should have passed," commented a fan on social media. Others, however, defended Endrick's boldness, pointing out that this type of courage is what sets great players apart from others, even if the outcome is not always favorable. In my opinion, there are fewer and fewer players who stand out for their ability to resolve matches individually. In the past, it was common for great stars to try to decide the game alone, relying on their skill and intuition. Nowadays, there seems to be constant pressure on players to always make the correct play, the obvious pass, which can limit the creativity and bravery of many. Endrick, by opting to finish instead of passing the ball, demonstrated that he possesses that boldness, something that is lacking in many players of the new generation. Of course, he made a mistake by not considering the best option at that moment, but that is part of the maturation process of a young athlete like him. However, what stood out the most was Endrick's attitude after the match. Despite the pressure and criticism, the young Brazilian showed great maturity. At the end of the match, Endrick approached Jude Bellingham and apologized for not passing the ball to him in that decisive play. "I'm sorry for what I did. I should have passed you the ball in that play," Endrick told his teammate, according to Defensa Central. This gesture surprised many, especially given Endrick's humility in quickly acknowledging his mistake. In an environment where egos often speak louder, this attitude was seen as a sign that he not only has talent but also character. So, what do you think of Endrick's attitude? Did he do well to apologize for not passing the ball? In my opinion, this shows great maturity and awareness of his role within the team. He recognized the mistake and tried to correct the situation, something that few players would do so quickly. And what do you think about it? Your opinion is very important to us, so leave your comment below and join this discussion. On the other hand, it is important to mention that despite the criticism, some newspapers in Spain only had praise for the young Brazilian. Even without the presence of Mbappe, who was injured, Carlo Ancelotti chose to start the match with Endrick on the bench. He only entered in the final minutes but had a clear opportunity to score the winning goal. The newspaper, Mundo Deportivo, highlighted that Endrick is being harmed by the lack of real opportunities in the starting team. According to the publication, Ancelotti has only given him the final minutes of matches, which hinders his development. He had the usual opportunity to score, but he continues to be harmed by the fact that Ancelotti has only given him the final minutes, wrote the newspaper. This shows that, despite the mistakes, Endrick is still seen as a promising player. Endrick has been the center of attention in recent days for his boldness on the field, and the newspaper Sport did not hesitate to highlight this in its publications. In one of his most talked about moments, he entered the field with great motivation, fighting for the ball until the final minutes of the match. In the 89th minute, he made a play that, although it did not end in a goal, was memorable. He managed to reach the goal line, pressured by the opponents, and in an unexpected counterattack, shot low from long distance. The shot was accurate but passed to the right of goalkeeper Oblak, who watched as the ball passed dangerously close to the goal. The press praised the young player's audacity, stating that his aggressive and determined stance demonstrates great promise for the future of football. So far, Endrick has accumulated 50 minutes played in 8 matches with the Real Madrid shirt. Despite his limited time on the field, he already has 2 goals and 1 assist, which is an impressive achievement for such a young player on such a competitive team. These numbers, although still modest, are already raising questions among fans and the press. Many believe that coach Carlo Ancelotti may be making a mistake by not starting him, especially considering that Mbappe is sidelined due to injury. The lingering doubt is whether Ancelotti is being too cautious by holding back Endrick, or if he is acting correctly by introducing him gradually so that the young player does not feel the pressure of responsibility too soon. On the other hand, some defend that Ancelotti's strategy is the most sensible. The Italian coach, who is one of the most experienced and respected in world football, may be choosing to give the young talent time to gradually adapt to the intensity of European football and the pressure of playing in a giant team like Real Madrid. Many coaches believe that introducing young prospects gradually is the best way to ensure they reach their maximum potential without burning out or getting injured prematurely. However, this approach generates debates. Some critics and fans call for Endrick to be tested as a starter in important matches, especially at times like the current one, when the team suffers the absence of stars like Mbappe. While Endrick is starting his journey at Real Madrid, another Brazilian already established in the club also caught attention in the last match, Vinicius Jr. The forward was the protagonist of yet another assist this season, once again demonstrating his ability to decide matches and take on responsibilities in crucial moments. Vinicius has already become a prominent figure in classics, and his performance against Atletico de Madrid was no different. He was tireless, facing his opponents with determination, even when things did not go as expected. During the match, the Brazilian lost some plays, but he never let himself be down, continuing the fight until achieving a beautiful assist for Militao's goal. If you made it this far, leave your comment telling us what you think of the news, and don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel. That assist changed the atmosphere of the match and, even more, the atmosphere in Atletico de Madrid stadium. Vinicius Jr., who already has a history of intense confrontations against Atletico, once again took on responsibility. In an emblematic play, he was not intimidated by his rival's attempts to provoke or destabilize him. On the contrary, he showed that he is up to the great classics and does not back down from provocations. There was even a moment of word exchange between him and Coke, Atletico's captain, which had to be contained by Jimenez. In the end, Coke sarcastically applauded Vinicius, which only heightened the tension on the field. These episodes of provocation are common in classics, but Vinicius, with his skill and strong mentality, knows how to handle these situations. Despite the tensions, Vinicius showed respect to Atletico de Madrid in a moment that was highly praised by Spanish fans. When the match was stopped and he was being substituted, the Brazilian avoided stepping on Atletico's crest, which was on the ground. This gesture, which may seem small to some, was greatly appreciated by the rival club's fans, especially considering the history of animosity between Vinicius and Atletico de Madrid supporters. This type of attitude shows that, in addition to being a brilliant player on the field, Vinicius also has a deep understanding of the respect that football demands outside the four lines, and this type of behavior only reinforces his maturity and growth as a player. Now the question remains for you, football fans. What do you think of these attitudes from Endrick and Vinicius Jr.? Both Brazilian players are leaving their mark on European football, but in different ways. Endrick, still at the beginning of his career, shows boldness and promises a bright future, while Vinicius, already established, continues to grow and establish himself as one of the great names in world football. What is your opinion on Ancelotti's use of Endrick? Should the coach give the young Brazilian more opportunities, or is he right with his cautious approach? And what do you think of Vinicius Jr.? Do his attitudes on and off the field show that he is ready to take on even more prominence at Real Madrid? I hope you enjoyed this reflection on the Brazilian players at Real Madrid. If you have a different opinion or agree with what was said here, don't hesitate to comment, as the comment section is precisely for that, debate and exchange of ideas. I will read and respond to your opinions because it's always interesting to see how each person perceives football and the players we love to follow. Finally, if you want to know what Ancelotti and the president of Real Madrid said about Vinicius Jr. and his chances of winning the Ballon d'Or, don't forget to click on the video that appears now on your screen. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.